Okay, here I'm going to demonstrate what our expectations are in terms of our literacy learning for each week. Now, obviously, the task will change slightly, but in terms of how the kids are going to do it, this will stay exactly the same while we're doing our distance learning. Okay, so I'm going to go through and explain how we're going to do our reading and our writing. So I'm going to log in as Flynn to show you how to do that. Now it'll be in tasks. Okay, so we have a look at Flynn's tasks. He's got week 1 writing. He's got some music. He's got some week 1 reading, and he's got his spelling that we showed the other time. So what he needs to do, if you want to do your writing activity, you go to week 1 writing. Okay, it's going to be the same document for the whole week, and then you send it to me at the end of the week. So we're going to click on week 1 writing. Okay, now this has no instructions because all the kids have to do is actually put their work on there. So the expectations for the work is that in the last week or so, we were working on some vocabulary and changing the vocab in the books that we read. Okay, so this is how we sort of do it. So I've already created it on a Word document, so you didn't have to wait for me to spend time to do it. So I will just copy what I've done and then explain. So I've copied that. Okay, so I'm on the writing document and I will paste what I've done. So what I need to do is I need to put the date, okay, because we're going to put the whole week's worth of activities on here so I know what date it is. So the date is the 13th of the 4th. What I need to do is I need to rewrite a passage from the book that I'm currently reading. So I've written that there. So it's the Bailey twins and their friends travel to Oz using the portal potion to stop the masked man from recruiting the Wicked Witch of the West for his literary army. So that is straight from the book. Then what we were working on in class is to work on our vocabulary and improve our writing by adding better words to improve that description or coming up with some better words. So for example, in the italic underneath, so I know that that's the kids' work, I wrote the Bailey duo and their companions were transported to Oz using the portal concoction to halt the masked man from enlisting the Wicked Witch of the West for his fictional army. So all I've done is just try to add a little bit more depth to the writing. Now, kids need to do this twice, okay? So then my next sentence was, Neverland is a magical island floating in outer space in James M. Barrie's classic Peter Pan. Neverland is a mythical landmass levitating in distant space in James M. Barrie's masterpiece, Peter Pan. So it's all about improving the kids' vocabulary in writing, and this will transfer into their writing as we get there. So at the start, we're only going to start off small, get the kids used to the online learning, and then we'll get the activities ramped up. Now, what happens is they will click save because that is now my weekly activity done. Now, that took me about sort of 20 to 25 minutes to do. So I'm going to click save. Now, because it's not 100% finished, I need to click no because I need to do that tomorrow. So, for example, tomorrow, if I go to do my writing activity, I'll find my writing activity. Where is it? So there's my week 1 writing. I've got my 13th of the 4th. Then what I need to do is I need to then scroll down, and then obviously tomorrow will be the 14th of the 4th, and then I'll start my entry for that day. So by the end of the week, the kids will have different entries for their week in writing. That is how I expect the writing task to be done for the first week and a bit, probably 2 weeks. Then we'll start adding some extra detail into it. Okay, so that is how I expect the writing part of our literacy to be completed. Now, in terms of our reading part, we're going to focus on summarising. So we need to go to week 1 reading. It's going to be exactly the same process as the writing. Now, once again, I've done it on a Word document. So I'll quickly copy and paste and then explain what I've done. copy that. Okay. Now then what I need to do is paste this. Okay, so this will be our reading part of it. So whatever books the kids are reading for their 20 minutes of silent reading or even at night, they need to complete a bit of a summary. Now, if the kids are running out of books, they can use Reading A to Z and use some of the books from there. Or you're more than welcome to contact me and I can sort of get some books from the library for them. But I suppose to keep our distance, we've got, if you haven't got books at home, there's plenty of books to read on Reading A to Z. Okay, so what we've been working on in terms of summary. Once again, I've got my date, the 13th of the 4th, and we work on the who, the what, the where, the why, the when, and the how. Now, sometimes we can't always put down things, but we're going to try and limit these to 5 words or less. So then we're really short and specific. So in the who, I've got Mother Goose, Merlin, Arthur, Alex, and Lester. In the what, they were stuck on an island. Where, it was at a lake. Why did they go there? Because they wanted to collect a piece of the old tree. When did it happen? It happened in the daytime. And how did they sort of possibly fix a problem? Mother Goose got angry. Okay, now sometimes you will not be able to fill all these up because depends on what you're reading. It will be very hard, but you got to do your best to fill those up because then what I'm expecting is those dot points I'm expecting in the kids' summaries. So then now underneath it, I'll write a summary of what I read in the 15, 20 minutes that I read last night. So Alex and Arthur were walking near a lake when a sea spirit wanted to help them collect the old tree from the island. Once they were on the island, she got upset when they mentioned Merlin. She took the steps away and left them on the island. Lester then flew to get Mother Goose and Merlin to help. As they arrived, the sea spirit captured all of them. However, because she made Mother Goose angry, Mother Goose used all her powers to drain the lake and kill the sea spirit. They were all then able to go back home with a part of the tree. Okay, so I've used all my dot points up here into my summary down there. Okay, now generally if you're reading sort of for 15, 20 minutes, your summary should be somewhere around about the 4 to 5 lines. Okay, because generally a lot happens in sort of 20 minutes. As I said, I don't care if some of these are vacant, as long as the kids are learning to understand of telling me exactly how. Because just in our reading assessments that we just completed, a lot of the kids were struggling with giving me exactly what happened in the book. So that's what we're going to focus on summarising for a little bit in our reading before we sort of start doing some other stuff, because I really want the kids to identify what actually happened in what they read. Okay, so once again, like our writing, that's our one-day activity. We're going to click save. Now, because it's not 100% finished, because it's a whole week, we're going to click no, it's not ready to hand in. Okay, and then tomorrow, when I go to do my reading, I find my reading activity again. There's my writing, music, there's my reading. So I click on it. And instead of the 13th of the 4th, I'm going to start a new one. That's going to be the 14th of the 4th. And I'm going to do the same, the who, the what, the where, and all that. Then I'm going to complete my summary underneath. That will be our expectations to complete our reading for the week. Now, as I said, it will slowly build up. But to start with, I just want the kids to get used to doing this kind of learning. And then hopefully we can sort of start doing some reading groups where the kids are all reading the same book and they're posting some responses on the forum. So that is the expectations, or are the expectations on the reading and the writing for at least the first week or 2 weeks. So once again, if you've got any issues, just let me know, but hopefully that should be pretty straightforward for the kids.